got me locked in on cup though. Cocaine in my nose, yeah, got rose in my cup though. Started climbing my pole, she got me locked in on cup though. Cocaine in my nose, yeah, got rose in my cup though. Started climbing my pole, she got me locked in on cup though. Cocaine in my nose, yeah, got rose in my cup though. Started climbing my pole, she got me locked in on cup though.
PSGL, George Morgan here and Jack Canat. All the lights are currently lit here on track, and it is go, go, go! Donoso with a crafty maneuver up the inside. Masterclass from the Chilean.
Crucial championship points on offer here.
Do not count out Danny Berezne.
Longe has done the job. This is for the win between these two.
Freddie Rasmussen wins the United States Grand Prix.
Alfie Butcher wins for the first time ever. Lucas Blakely takes the championship. It's Barry Boy.
Champion.
back to PSGL Season 37 F3 Round 3 at Austria, Spielberg, or the Red Bull Ring, depending on how you want to say it. But of course, I am one of your commentators, Mr. Deflink, also known as Alex, and I am joined by my commentary partner, Mr. Mackie or Mackie Sunday, depending on how you feel. TK is away this week, as he mentioned last week, so Mackie, filling in as always, flies in when there needs to be a replacement in, and he's also kindly set up the stream as well, because I'm very bad at doing that. So Mackie, how are you doing today?
I'm fine. I mean, I'd have liked it if you streamed, but hey, this is where we are now, so let's just just get on with it, you know.
I mean, I sort of asked Mackie the question. I said, Mackie, would you stream for me? And being the nice guy he is, he said, I will. He did consider saying no, and if he had said no, I would have completely set it up for him. So, you know, I'm just saying he didn't have to say yes to doing it, but he did. All right. So this is the situation we're in now. So we're here for round 3 of of F3, I should say, for PSGL. We've had a fantastic start to the season. 2 banging races back to back. Last time out in Miami, Mr. I believe Richards won once again from I believe 5th on the grid. Went on to win the race. Currently leads the championship standings. Do we have the championship standings, Mackie? Can we swap?
I can bring up some.
I can't see them, so you have to go through them.
Oh, it's really small on my screen as well, so you're just gonna have to bear with me a minute as I try and get a bigger version up.
Yeah, we've had a slight issue with me seeing Mackie's OBS, because I can actually see his studio mode instead of his OBS, so I can see that he was fiddling with the camera screens a few minutes ago, and that is what he was doing. But I can't see the things, but we're working through it. Oh, I can see them now on stream. If you want me to go through them, I'm watching the stream.
Oh, you can.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry, on the
go.
main stream. I'm watching it on the YouTube as well. So Richards currently sits at the top of the driver's standings, 32 points, back-to-back race wins. Can he make it 3 in a row? Marple sits in second place with Linhart in third. The point standings are 32, 19, and 14. We've got 14 as well for Angelo, who had a great start in Miami that kind of fell off towards the end of the race. Of course, the point system, 16 points for the winner, 12, 10, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You get 1 point for pole position and 1 point for fastest lap if you're inside the top 10. But we are here around Spielberg today. I don't know if we have a track map as well, Mac. Are we lucky enough to have a track map?
We can have a track map if you want a track map.
Go through the track map. I mean, Austria it's a fantastic circuit, really, isn't it, Mackie? It's a fantastic circuit.
It is. It absolutely is. It is probably one of my favourite circuits to drive on this game, but there are very few times I do actually drive it. And yeah, except for turn 3, it can get a little bit spicy up there. But other than that, it's one of, I'd say, the best circuits on the calendar. It
certainly is. Turn 3 can certainly get spicy. I mean, woof. Could you imagine being a Lando Norris fan, thinking about turn 3? Woof.
Oh yeah, I certainly can, Alex.
Yeah.
You know that very well.
Yeah, no, slipped my mind completely. So we're gonna go into the race in a second. Of course, we have a short qualifying followed by a 36 lap race. Now, 2 points we should point out here. One, once again, well done F3. We have a full grid again for F3. 20 drivers lining up on the grid, and I honestly appreciate that, because I know a lot of people are having problems with the game right now still, but we are motoring through it. We're getting on and we're enjoying commentating on it. Me and Mackie have done a few commentaries now together on this game, and we've thoroughly enjoyed it together. So we're going to get into this qualifying session. The other points we should point out: F1 wildcards are still in use, so please bear with us in terms of knowing what cars are which, especially for Mackie, because Mackie obviously doesn't commentate F3, so he won't know which drivers are part of which team. The third and final point we should make is, in qualifying, you may see the fact that the cars do not have any collisions on, so they'll be in ghost form. There is a reason for that. Now, it turns out slipstream in this game is insanely powerful, especially in qualifying. So, and it seems that drivers have been using slipstream effects of other cars to make their lap times faster, and which is, I believe, strictly forbidden under the PSG rule sets. If I'm not
You
mistaken.
would be correct. You would be correct.
So what our lovely researchers at PSGL have found out is that if the cars are in ghost mode, non-collision mode, apart from that car's coming down the pit lane there, which is slightly odd. Hopefully it'll go ghost. Yeah, he has gone ghost. The cars are not affected by slipstream. So, and especially around somewhere like this circuit where slipstream is insanely good. You know, it's one of those things that we've turned it off for this session, which doesn't mean cars can drive through each other, which is not exactly great for, you know, broadcast purposes. But don't you fret, everyone. If you're thinking we're not going to get any wheel banging in the main race, we will have a lobby restart to turn collisions back on for the main race.
Absolutely. I think it's probably the best way to manage the situation, ensure no one is able to cheat, and then but still give us good racing at the end of the day.
Exactamundo, as they say in the 90s. But surprisingly, I wasn't born in the 90s. I just talked like I was. So Tamas is actually going to go for his first lap here, and you know what I'm going to ask you, Mackie.
Would this be for a onboard reaction to the lap?
Of course it is. Take us through Tamas's lap here around the Austrian Grand Prix.
Alright, so uphill then into turn 1, you're braking about the 50-metre board, then sliding the rear end through the corner. Once again, as I always say, careful on the acceleration. You don't really know how the rear end of these cars are going to react. You cut through turn 2, which doesn't really see much of a counter turn. At about 75 metres, you're braking into turn 3. Doesn't take too much for the outside curb, which you can certainly take if you're looking to extend out the track limits a little bit without going over the white line too much. And then going into turn 4, you're braking heavily again, but only down to about 4th gear as you hit that outside curb as much as you can to slingshot your way through turn 5 and into turn 6, where you lift slightly, drop a couple of gears, and there you are, avoiding that gravel once again on the outside curb. The inside curb you want to avoid here in turn 7 and 8. I think I've missed a turn somewhere, unfortunately, Alex.
It happens.
So, you know, it's fine. They turn about 50 metres, dropping again another gear and breaking through the final turn there, turn 11, opening that DRS and going all the way up through the gears to set a 1:03.262.
Someone in chat, Mackie, just pointed out the game audio is apparently a bit loud. A little bit loud.
I'm going to see if I can fix that without tapping out of the game.
You should be able to do it in-game, can't you? You can just turn the audio down in-game.
That's a good point. I could just do that.
So just bear in mind with the settings screen, everyone. We'll get through that. While that goes through, I'll read out the currently your drivers that set lap times. Sixten Linhart currently on provisional pole with a 1:03.203, and then Tamas, as we mentioned, 1:03.262. Then Marples with a 1:03.291, saying as Lolo or Lolol Vera. Once again, bear in mind with names, everyone, that the names aren't my speciality. So yeah, EC8, could you just let us know how the sound is now once Mackie has changed it? Hopefully it should be okay.
I've turned it down a couple of notches. It should be okay now.
Couple of notches.
We'll
Once
see.
again, just want to point out, Reinhard Sproggers hasn't set a qualifying lap yet. Now this man, back-to-back race wins, Mackie, but qualified in those races 6th and 5th respectively.
And it's not awful to qualify that far back, but it can be a little bit of a hindrance, those in front of you. Obviously, he has made his way through in the past, so we'll see how he's going to be able to do. Of course, he could still go pole. There's plenty of time left in the session.
Plenty of time, and obviously, with being a short qualifying session, about 18 minutes, and because of how short Austria is, and the other thing we should point out is these drivers will not have to worry about tyre usage because we're going to have a lobby reset. So they've probably selected the softest tyre allocation and gone for the 4 soft tyre sets so they can do 4 runs.
There's a very good chance that is what's happened.
Also, the audio's all good now. So
I'm glad to hear it.
good evening, Big C, as
Tony
well.
Hightaler there goes second, a 1:03.208, very close to Sixten Lindhart's provisional pole time so far. I think there's a lot more time to find in the circuit.
Yeah, and also just want to point out that Reinhardt did get his lap on the board, but it was only good enough for 10th on the grid. But Mac, if we have a look at the deltas here quickly, I'm just going to bring up the gap to the leader. I'm sure you were going to do this in a second anyway. The top 8 separated by 1/10 of a second. The top 18 separated by 0.3 of a second.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Everyone who set what I'd say is a competitive lap time of all within half a second of each other, which is incredibly close. Of course, this circuit is one of the fastest and shortest on the calendar, so you would be expecting closer lap times in general, but even this, just 4 attempts in it, very, very close indeed. And I assume that Kuba Trzeziak will be setting a much more competitive lap time in the coming minutes.
Yep, and Keanu, I would expect to set a lap time as well. So yeah, 12 minutes left in this session. The times are only going to get faster from here. I don't know what's going to happen in the race. I don't know if I assume the weather is going to be kept the same as it was at the end of this session. We're going to find out. Tamas is going for another lap here. This will be his second run of the session. Now, there's something I've got to say. I do love a Formula 1 race. There's nothing more I love than a Formula 1 race watching. But circuit like Austria, where it is very much a qualifying and race circuit. Watching these Formula 1 cars with so much downforce nowadays, being thrashed around a circuit like this it's so amazing to watch. It's one of my favourite things to watch.
It absolutely is. The way that they're just throwing them, the drivers are just throwing them around the corners, especially. I mean, you see Ben Marples now going through turn 3, even locking it up a bit, is still able to throw that rear end just around the corner and just gain so much traction on the exit.
Yeah, it is. It's quite impressive, especially these modern machinery. Obviously, we don't like how chunky they are as vehicles, but 2026 they're going to be a lot thinner. So we got that to look forward to in 2026.
Like Ben Marples just messed up his lap a little bit, unfortunately.
Oh. Well, I can say Tamas is what they say in the business, cooking on his qualifying lap. Just going to come around the final corner now. I imagine by the livery that he is running, probably repping the Sauber team. Oh, and just goes second fastest. Misses out by 0.002 of a second on Linhart's lap time.
Absolutely, and Lindhart now, let's see, I think he's going to cross all the sector lines. I haven't been given a delta so far, so as we watch as he goes through the final part of the circuit, the last couple of corners now, again, you just see the way they're sliding it around turn 11 and still getting traction on the exit. And it's going to be not an improvement at all, actually, as we see invalidation there from Lolo as well. See, is anyone actually on an improvement right now?
Oops. Someone just jumped up. Was that Keanu? Yeah, Keanu jumps up to 4th fastest there
that way.
With a 103.244. So every driver within a 103, Mackie. No drivers outside of it right now. We're going to have Thomas Lammen come across the line now in his lovely pink car. Going to cross the line. Goes 18th fastest with a 103.446. Someone's just jumped up there. I think that's Daniel. Jumped up to 4th as well with a 103.223. The top 3 separated by 3,000th of a second?
Yeah, absolutely. It's absolutely insane. 4,000.
4,000th of a second.
Time to leader. But
Lord
yeah,
above.
that is absolutely insane. The very small gaps between them.
Is it insane in the membrane? Can we sing that song? Is it copyrighted? It's probably copyrighted.
Probably.
Probably copyrighted. Once again, showing my musical taste there. When did that song even come out? I don't even want to think like that because it's going to make me feel old. Anyone know when that song came out? I don't even know what song I'm talking about. I just know the lyrics.
You're just hoping someone in chat knows, are you? Richard Sprogis now going to come across the line to start his fly-in lap. He's on a bit of an alternate run plan to everyone else, it would seem.
He certainly is. 1993. I wasn't even born. I just know the song.
Fair enough.
Well, yeah, as you said, Richard's on an alternative strategy as well. Currently 14th fastest. What's he going to do in this first sector? He's going to be 3 seconds
slow.
down.
Is he going for a second warm-up lap?
He might be. Now, Mackie, I know I mentioned about his qualifying earlier, but he's not proving me wrong here. I told him in that interview last week, you can't win a world title by starting not on pole every week.
Obviously, and maybe that's his plan, is to show you wrong.
Maybe he is. Maybe he's showing me up, you know. Obviously, I'm just a commentator. What do I know? That's the thing. It's not my job to research these guys. I'm just saying. If you guys think I'm a bit crazy today, it's because I am. There we go.
Yeah.
Insane in the brain.
Aren't you always? Like,
I
Yeah.
always. Well, I bring the hype to these streams. I'm the hype man.
You do. They're rather boring when I'm here on my own. For any stream, that is. Not just
I
here.
can tell you as a commentator, trying to commentate on your own is one of the most boring and stressful things in life, because not only are you running a stream on your own, you're also having to call the action on your own without having to bounce off someone. One of the first lessons I ever taught Mackie as a commentator.
Just try and
Gotta have
back
a
out
partner.
do solo commentary as much as you can.
Exactly. Never accept a solo commentary job unless you're guaranteed a partner. It's not going to happen. I actually refuse to do solo commentary anymore because it's just not as fun. So Tamas, it's 48,000 up in the first sector, which doesn't sound a lot on a normal qualifying lap, but that's enough to take into provisional pole as it stands.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, Linhart's on an out lap right now. Just going to be on board with Tolkien right now, going around that final corner, almost exceeding the track limits. Very, very close indeed. And goes across the line. Not quite an improvement despite a really good first sector. Tamas now going to enter the final sector just about now. It's going to be, unfortunately, lost time in the second sector, despite being, I thought, half a tenth up, did you say, in the first sector?
Half a thousandth up in the first sector.
Oh,
But
half a thousandth
Sproggers,
up.
oh, you literally embarrassed me, son. He's put it on provisional pole, Mackie. 103.184 as Tamas crosses the line. Goes to a 103.082. Are we going to get to the 102s this afternoon?
There's certainly a possibility, especially if this track evolution stays up the way it is developing.
Wow, this has been quite the qualifying session. Do not go anywhere. I hope you're on the edge of your seats. I always sit on the edge of my seat, so I'm closer to the action. As Keanu crosses the line, goes second fastest with a 103.156 split. Rihards and Tamas, as we're going to see a couple of others across the line. Race is currently fourth, not improving as it stands. I think already improved to jump up the grid. Angelo not really cooking right now on this qualifying lap. I see Tias jumps up to seventh fastest there, up into the top 7. Just have a quick look at the gaps to the leader, by the way, if anyone was curious. 4 tenths separate the top 20, 2 tenths separate the top 12, and a tenth separate the top 5.
And the top 20 still separated by less than half a second.
Yeah.
It's just insane how close these all these drivers are on their individual laps.
Unheard of in modern day Formula 1.
Absolutely.
That's why we are better than Formula 1,
Indeed.
within reason.
Within reason.
Within reason. Mackie is just as good as Crofty.
I'm not sure about that, but, you know, sure.
Sure, I'll take the compliment.
I'll take the compliment. I don't know if I agree with it, but I'll take it.
Would you rather be Crofty or Martin Brundle?
Alex Brundle. I know it's not an option, but...
It's great. Thanks for picking the option I didn't give you. I know you did that as a joke, but have you ever had those? This is a completely off-topic conversation, but this is what F3 is like. Have you ever asked one of those, like, would you?
Alex, I hate to inform you, but you just cut out there for a good 5 seconds. In fact, I think we've lost Alex completely.
Rather, we're gonna play along with. Oh, did my game completely lag out? Hello?
Your internet just completely lagged out. You were gone for a good 20 seconds. You're gonna have to like completely restart whatever you were saying.
I was doing an off-topic conversation.
Oh, I completely missed it, unfortunately.
Oh, I was basically saying, you know, when you said it as a joke, like you choose Thingy over Brundle or Crofty, whatever, Jake's, and I said, have you ever had one of those friends where you play like Would You Rather with them, and then they like don't give you, they say I wouldn't do either of them, and it's like, well, what's the point of playing the game then if you're gonna not do either of them?
I hate to inform everyone of this, but I'm definitely that friend.
Yes, he's certainly that friend. Sure. Well, Zach Miles is going for what will probably be his last qualifying lap of the session with 3 minutes 30 left on the clock. He might get another lap in to go, but here we go. I suppose one good thing about these no collisions on Mac, you don't have to worry about traffic.
That is true. You can just drive through the person in front of you who might be annoying you without any risk of damaging their car or your car.
Yeah, but also it means no backing up, which means no 5-place grid drops.
Yeah, that too. That is also helpful. It also means no one else gets impeded by that. Traffic is... what's the word? I've completely forgotten the words. This is great because English is the only language I know.
Oh, I had that yesterday when I was streaming. For 8 hours of GTA 5 speedrunning, lost my mind. It's, I literally couldn't speak
I
English,
can imagine.
Like honestly, I was struggling to like form basic words. Like when you're trying to like, if you ever sped run a game before, like trying to be fast at speed running and talk and be funny on stream is one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. But it's genuinely like really entertaining. I'd recommend if you've got a game you really enjoy playing and you fancy doing something different, like look up speedruns for it and try to do it yourself. Like there's no embarrassment of what time you can do.
I come from the unfortunate background of being a Minecraft speedrunner. Long ago, yeah.
He was a different man back then, everyone. Don't. Are you actually Dream? Are you revealing this live on?
Oh no, I don't even think I'd want that. For reasons I won't mention on a stream.
No,
it looks like everyone's really struggling to get a valid lap in.
Not Race though. Race is on a good lap. If Race can complete this lap, oh, they validated the commentator's curse. Strikes again. I'm sorry, Race. That would have been front row as well. And also, they invalidated final corner, which means that's this lap and the next one invalidated. Unfortunately,
Rehard Sprogist won't be able to improve either for the exact same reason. Invalidated the lap on the final corner.
Rehard.
Is that rain? I see rain.
Oh, it's rain. It's over. Qualifying ends. That's surely it. No one's going to improve. Keanu coming around the final corner. A 10th down. Are they going to improve? No, they miss out by 0.2 of a second. Linhart not improving as well. They're a 10th down in the middle sector. Qualifying.
And invalidated.
Yeah, qualifying is cooled off. That's it.
That's it.
Because it's raining, the track is going to be wet now. I think Angelo's going to try and go for a lap time here, but I think it's going to be with very little chance of actually improving because of the rain that's coming down on the circuit.
Yeah, absolutely. What an end to the session, of course. The curbs now are not going to feel so great, and on the circuit where you really need to extend out onto the curbs, you're just going to lose all the grip. You see Tia's Korsman now going through the middle sector, struggling a lot, goes across the sector line to be 2 tenths down. I think that's it for qualifying, and that is our grid decided. Yep, Angelo's still going for his lap, but he's really struggling to get any power down on the rail. I think DRS has just been disabled, actually. Yeah, he's just gone over the DRS line, has been, it's almost been disabled. Well, that is qualifying end, unless anyone can pull a magical lap time, but I think qualifying ends, which means it is Tamas who's on pole position for the Austrian Grand Prix, followed by Keanu, followed by Linhart. Richards does get a better qualifying in 5th, and Race rounds out your top 5. Well, qualifying ends. We will be having a restart in a minute to get collisions back on, and while we do that, we'll just wait for we'll wait for everyone to get back into the pit lane, and we'll go through the running order, and then we might do like a. You cut out again, Alex, unfortunately. Cringeworthy segue into. Did I really? Is your internet doing okay? I think so. It's probably because I've got the PSGL stream open. Hang on, let's close that. Let's see if that fixes the problem. I was going to close Steam there, but it's probably not a good idea considering I'm playing F1 23. No. 23, 24. We are about to have a restart, yeah. Yeah, sorry, I think it's because I had the PSGL stream open and the game was like just not, my internet was just not enjoying it. It's fine. Well, it's all good. As long as we found a solution, it's all good. Solutions fix all problems. Well, Alex, would you like to go through our starting grid then? I'd love to. So Tamas is on pole position from Keanu. From Linhart is your top 3, and then it's Rehard's Race, Tony, Tias, Daniel. Is it Lolo? That's how I've been saying it. Lolo, and then it's Ryan in your top 10. Then it's Angelo, Marples, Kuba, Marcel, Gabriel, Lara, Thomas, Zach, Buba, and Thomas Lamonen rounds out your top 20. Lamonen down in 20th place. He won't be happy with that one. But Mackie, you know what will make his day better? What will make his day better? A GT Omega gaming chair. That is true, and I feel like there's something I meant to say before running the ad, but I've completely forgotten what it is. So I'm just going to run the ad now. Roll the ad. Welcome back, everyone. Sorry for the blank screen there for a minute. Just having a couple of technical issues on the lobby, not letting me leave it. So, just...
Yeah, we now have to wait, unfortunately. Yeah,
Yeah,
basically everyone retired from the lobby, and we didn't get out in time before everyone retired. So we now have to wait until the race director screen goes away, and we get into it. I'm curious why the countdown hasn't come up yet for the thing.
Probably because we're the only ones left and we're spectators.
Does that mean we're gonna have to do a game restart?
I might have to
Unless
Alt F4 the
we
game
can
to
join
get out
off
of
of
this.
someone.
Oh, hold on.
Oh
I've
no,
got a
no,
timer
tech
now.
timer is coming down. Good.
We'll get the race underway shortly, everyone.
Yes, no one's stressed. Don't worry, we're professionals here at PSGL. Oh, it ended before it was meant to. That works.
Oh, now I've got another loading screen. We'll get this sorted soon. It's all good. But takeaways from that qualifying session, Alex.
Takeaways from the qualifying session. Well, I mean, once again, it was a fantastic from Tamas to put it on pole position. It's certainly. Oh, we're back in the same lobby. Oh, nice. We don't even have to. Oh, nice. That's even better. So we're back. Yeah, Thomas once again putting on pole position. I think there'll be a few people kicking themselves for not taking pole there, especially with that weather coming down when it did. Rehard's in a decent position in 4th, but still got some work to do. Also, just want to point out, just been confirmed by Connor, dynamic weather is on.
Oh,
so it
well, that makes things interesting.
Could still rain here at PSGL. Everyone could be going in blind here. Not legitimately blind, because that would be dangerous. But I mean, that would be an interesting setting, wouldn't it? Everyone can't see. You must play blindfolded.
We should just do a random one-off round where everyone is blindfolded.
I think that would
for a race.
I think that would make
Let's
a race interesting. Yeah.
So everyone has an engineer who's trying to guide them around the circuit.
Yeah. They have the engineers guiding around the circuit, and they're also listening to the stream to see where the commentators call out their things. So I think that would be really interesting. Let's do it. Connor, if you're listening, we'll do it for an event. The only issue is I can't see chat now because I had to close the thing.
I've still got chat open. I'm not sure if messages are actually going through or not because I've had issues with that on YouTube before.
Well, there has been messaging. So if you can't see any messaging in there, then it's not working.
I haven't seen a message for a good few minutes.
Okay, well, what's the last message that was in there?
Tamas cooking. No, that's the last message I had.
That was the last message that was on there, I think. So that's all good.
Okay, cool.
Someone can always message in chat if there is a thing. So.
In fact, someone has just messaged in chat.
Huh.
Will Lewis. There we go.
Thanks, Lewis.
Right, I'm just going to check everything's fine on Discord, on my phone, unfortunately, because...
Sorry everyone for yawning, I'm just very tired. I'm not bored, I'm just tired. But luckily, I've got a very refreshing drink. I can't say the name.
Other brands do exist.
Yeah, we should mention at this point, other energy drinks are available. Other unbranded energy drinks are available, I should say.
Indeed.
Sorry, Josh is the head of comms. He'll tell me off if I do something wrong. It's all good. It's all good in the hood.
Will Lewis isn't happy that you addressed him by his surname.
Sorry, Will.
Just so you know.
Sorry. I do that a lot. I always say someone's surname instead of their first name. I don't know why. I think it's because I put Mr. in a lot of. I put like Mr.
No, I'll tell you what it is. It's a commentator's trait. We just only know how to address people by surnames.
Yeah, it is genuinely a commentator's trait. So it is like a thing where I'll address someone by their surnames. I was doing it a lot in the speedrun actually, in the GTA speedrun, which is odd, isn't it?
You're so far down the commentator pipeline that that's it now. First names don't exist.
So I just like, who's Michael? It's Mr. Santa to you.
All right, I believe.
Don't call Franklin by his second name.
Here.
No one knows Franklin's second name in GTA 5.
I must be the only person on the planet who's never played GTA.
It's outrageous.
I'm gonna be cancelled later for my.
Hashtag. Get it over on Twitter. Hashtag cancel Mackie. It's going to trend worldwide tonight.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Well, we are about to go into the race for the Austrian Grand Prix. We fingers crossed for some weather. Dynamic weather does always make races more interesting.
Maybe.
Not a whole race wet.
Yeah, no, I think
like
changeable conditions would be very
yeah.
interesting.
A little bit of sprinkle of rain can always make, you know what they say, a sprinkle of rain keeps the doctor away.
I don't think I've ever heard that one said before, but I'll take your word for it.
Well, I'll say it now. It's my quote. Alex, 2024. Got really dry lips, which isn't great as a commentator.
You should probably get a drink. I know you have a
Have
drink.
a drink, but just like...
Drink it.
I'm just going to pour it over my lips. Hang on, everyone. Right, what's the weather like?
I don't know. I've still got a load of overcast.
Overcast is probably the way I'd say.
A little bit foggy, I'd say, in the background.
Yeah, a little bit foggy. You can see the Austrian hills, a bit foggy there. Something we should mention as well. No one will know who's pit box.
That's true.
So they probably would have worked it out because a lot of the guys tend to do it, tend to work it out together. So hopefully they'll know not to pit at the same time as their teammates. But fortunately, sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles, as they say. Unless you're a baker, and you don't want your cookie to crumble.
Now, Alex, I've got a very important question.
Oh, go for it.
Do you want to take the start, or should I take the start?
I'd love to take the start, Mackie.
All right.
You know what I'm like with the 5 red lights. It's my favourite part of a stream.
It's the only part he's actually here for.
It's the bit I enjoy. No, I enjoy all of it. That's a lie. I would be in this business if I didn't enjoy it. Let's be honest. It's not like there's any money involved in it. Come on, guys. It's the enjoyment I'm here for. Ugh, right.
Indeed.
I'm gonna sit up properly, because then I can actually have like my voice project.
Air in your lungs means more voice projection.
Yes, Mackie 2024.
I'm sure someone said that before me, but
well,
I'll take credit. It's fine.
You have your own quote. I don't know if you even realise.
Do I?
You have your own saying that you say every time I finish a sentence, but I don't know if you know you say it every time.
Oh no, I know I say it. I've been trying to stop saying it.
I
but
want it
it's
on a
such
t-shirt.
trademark now.
But here we go. We are going for your 5 red lights here for round 3 on F3 at Austria. It's lights out. And away we go, and Tamas gets a great start off the line with Keanu right on his rear as he races down into turn 1. It's a dangerous turn 1, but Lindhart and Frace go wheel to wheel. Rahard's following him behind as he tries to chase them up towards turn 3. The run up towards turn 3. Can they hit their braking markers correctly? As we go into turn 3 now, everyone, a little spin in front. I think we're going to tap on the rear to Lindhart, who drops down the order. He's going from 3rd to 8th in the matter of a couple of corners as we race into the next braking zone. So easy to get caught out here, but everyone's still pointing in the right direction. It's been a cracking start from a few drivers, but a few drivers will want to forget that one as we race down into the middle sector.
Absolutely, we still have battles developing throughout the circuit. Biggest one right now will probably be Rihard's on Tiaz right now. It looks like Rihard's just got the move done. He's up into 4th position. He's got a little bit of ground to make up though on race ahead.
And once again, like we saw last week at Miami, Rihard is taking the alternate strategy. He started on the hard tyres. Everyone else on the grid is on mediums, which is very interesting indeed, considering we know how difficult it is to warm the hard tyres up. You can see that Rihard is losing a lot of time to the front runners in front, as he's also getting attacked now by Tiaz. DRS already enabled here on this lap. We know DRS gets enabled after 1 lap of racing, as Tiaz is going to go down the inside on turn 3 as he looks to get a good exit up turn 3. Can he use a little bit of that battery, a little bit of that DRS to pull alongside Rihard and pull into 4th place, but he can't. But someone who can take the lead is Keanu, who pulls into the lead of the Austrian Grand Prix, and he's ahead of Tamas, and that did not take long.
No, absolutely not. If we just have a quick look at what tyres everyone has, everyone except for Rihard is running the medium to what I would assume is going to be the hard tyre strategy. Of course, Rihard is started on hards, will likely be on the mediums at the end of the race, assuming we don't have any safety cars or rain interfering with that.
Yep, I haven't got any weather reports from anyone, so I'm not sure what exactly the rain is going to be doing, or if it's going to be staying away completely. But yeah, I think a 1-stop is the likely strategy around here. Tyres do wear quite a lot in this year's F1 game, but I think Rihard taking that risk of the hard tyres at the start Obviously, he's going to have a couple of pain for the opening few laps like he did in Miami, but it does come back to him later on in the race. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if we see these guys swap place for lead a lot, Mackie.
Yeah, absolutely. With so many DRS zones, there's always the opportunity for the lead to swap positions. It looks like Tias Korsman and Sixten Lindhart are still having a little bit of a fight there for 5th position. Someone is dropping down the order.
Yeah, I think that was Lari dropping down the order as Tamas once again retakes the lead of the Austrian Grand Prix. That's going to be swap and swap and swap, as they say, as we're going to now pay attention to Ryan Grob, who's wheel to wheel with Angelo. As the sun comes out here at Austria, it's peeking through the clouds. Unfortunately, I think me and Mackie's changeable conditions are off the cards as it stands. The sun is going to definitely help Rehards because it will help the tarmac warm up. It will help his hard tyres remain their temperature window, which of course is the hardest thing to do with them. But he's sitting in a good position right now in P4 with about half battery life and still within DRS range. It is looking good for our championship leader, the man who has won 2 races back-to-back at the start of this year, looking to make it 3 in a row. He's really going for the Max Verstappen tactic, as we call it.
So it looks like the lead is going to change once again as Keanu goes into the lead, DRS wide open, and then gets a good braking zone into turn 3. No real challenge from behind.
Yep, no real challenge at all as Rehards now gets a decent exit out of turn 3 as he runs down the second main straight here as Kuba has actually made up a move there on Ryan Grob, who's dropping down the order. Kuba into P10. He's had a good race start, to be honest with you here, Kuba. He's looking pretty good at the start of this Grand Prix. So we really go through the positions gained on the opening couple of laps. Kuba up 3 places. Thomas up 4 from the back of the grid. Lola, on the other hand, dropped 11 at the start of the race. What happened there to Lola?
I'm not sure, I didn't see it, but I believe there was potentially contact with another driver, unfortunately, as I think that was Sixten going a little bit off the track there. Might get a track limits warning for that. But yeah, so far everyone has had a relatively clean start. Sixten, of course, I believe got hit off the track just a little bit on the start, but he's having a decent recovery drive sitting in 5th place.
Yeah, that was what happened to Sixten in Miami as well. Made a good recovery too.
Oh, it's going to be 3 wide.
Oh, God.
3 wide into turn 3. It looks like Keanu makes the correct decision, backs off, but down the inside goes Riaz, and that's going to be at the lead of the race for the first time for him. But it looks like Tamas isn't going to let this one go as he goes into the lead down the inside. It's going to be 4 of them now battling for this. Keanu's under pressure as well. Down the inside goes Rehards, and Rehards dropping back. He's ghosted. That's going to be down into 5th position as Lindhart goes up into 4th, but they're still battling for position here through the middle sector.
Oh, and a lovely helicopter camera there. I think that was more ambition ahead of adhesion there for Rehards. He saw the gap open up. Definitely could have taken 3rd. I think he wanted 2nd. Race currently sitting in 2nd place, as we call him. Apparently that's how you say it, Mac. You just want to put that out for you.
Oh yeah, well I said the wrong thing.
That's okay, you didn't know. I just thought I'd put it out so you didn't say it for the rest of the race for your because I know what race is cool, but like I mean race is like I just like that's how his name is said, so it's all good. Don't worry, race. I told him it's all good. But Keanu now going for the lead again. We're going to make it 3 wide once again, going up the straight. Or are we going to keep it the same? No, keep it the same. Oh, but the other hand, Rehards goes down the inside, and he's going to take Keanu for 3rd place. As once again, Rehards chases down Race for 2nd. Will he dive down the inside? No, Race covers the inside off. Will he go down the inside? Oh, moved under braking a little bit there. Does that cause Rehards a little bit of problems? But that seemed... Oh, I think that was slightly on the limit. I'm getting...
Oh, and Lindhart as well, going around the outside. Sorry to interrupt you there, Alex. He goes around the outside, but he's not able to make the move. Keanu's... Sorry, no. Yeah, Keanu sticks to it. He's up into 4th, and it's, Lindhart on this recovery drive. I think might have a little bit of damage to that car, so might not be quite as competitive.
Yeah, and I mean, Race... I don't know about that move from Race. I'm getting the Verstappen Lando vibes from this battle at the moment, and we know how that one ended. Rehards just needs to be a little bit sensible with his moves. He'll know what he needs to do as Angelo pulls into the pits with a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That's not going up to plan for Angelo right now. So racing down into turn 3. Race is going to retake the lead of the Austrian Grand Prix ahead of Tamas, but will now lose the advantage of DRS, and surely Tamas will fly straight back past him. And and Race actually defends the inside line now, as Tamas is not going to consider going for it. Rehards on the other hand is going to fling it round the outside, and he's just going to get cut off there. Oh, what's happened there?
What just happened there?
Taras has been blinked back into 5th place, and unfortunately, we may have just seen a classic feature of F1 24, because Taras has lost, well, he's lost 4 places from no fault of his own. He's down to 5th, and now it looks like Tony is going to have a go with him as well. Round the outside, surely not, of this final corner. It's going to be outrageous if he can pull it off. Oh, but he sensibly backs out there, Mackie. I think that would have been an aeroplane crash of an accident if he'd done for that.
Absolutely, and to add insult to injury as well, that got a 3-second time penalty, I believe. No, was that someone else?
Thomas.
The game just... Oh, okay.
Sorry, they have very similar names.
I'm confusing names once again. I do apologise to all the drivers who I've messed the names up. As Rehards now goes into the lead of the Grand Prix for I think the first time, going into turn 3. There we go. Locks up a little bit, but they all have been. I think it's the quickest around the corner. Someone's been hit. Has Keanu been hit?
Either Keanu's been hit or he's made a lock-up mistake. I saw a big lock-up, so maybe he's maybe that's self-inflicted. It's very unlike him to do that self-inflicted incident. Down the inside goes Kuba on. Oh, it's Ben Marple, sorry, on Kuba as he takes P9 away from Kuba. He's up into the top 9 here. As once again, these drivers are absolutely find the limit of these Formula 1 cars here around Austria. It's great to see real close battles, but yeah, for Tamas, he's now got a lot of work to do because unfortunately that incident, that feature, as we like to call it here in the business, has put him down the order, now into 4th, and he's lost a little bit of time there, but he's gone wide, Mackie.
Absolutely, and unfortunately that'll probably give a track limits warning as well, despite losing time. Someone's just hit the wall in the background.
Oh, just trying to go down the order. It's Thomas Boldrin. He's gone straight into the wall, broken his front wing, and no safety car on the horizon, but that's a long way to go because that's right at the end of the lap and starting a new one, and the pit lane is obviously quite a far distance away. So Lola gets in front of P17 there of Lara into P16 to be exact. But yeah, right now Rihard's in control of this Austrian Grand Prix on those hard tyres. That is exactly what he wants to be, and he wants to control the pace of this race as Boba into Buba, as I should say, get into 13th place ahead of Zach Miles. Thomas Lamina trying to make up positions as well. The race is kind of hitting that point where everyone's sort of sitting and waiting for stuff to happen, especially Rihard's now controlling this race on those alternate set of tyres. He's going to be really the one that we're going to be paying attention to, because he'll have to make the time up when he pits, unless he pulls off a very good overcut.
Indeed.
Ooh.
So,
as I say that,
wait,
he's lost a couple of positions there, and he's dropped back behind. He's dropped back behind race. Was that intentional to get DRS?
I'm not sure because he just suddenly had no pace on the main straight there. I'm really not sure what just happened to Rihard.
Very strange indeed. Maybe he's had what we like to call in the business a tank slapper. Thomas Boldrin retires in the pits. Rihard fires it around the outside. He takes the lead once again. He won't have DRS on this occasion. I don't think Race is going to have a real trouble with it because he's lost his complete rear end putting the power down. Are we having some struggles on these medium tyres on lap 10 already here, Mackie?
If they are already having struggles with the medium tyres, it could be a really long, hard stint for these drivers, and Rihard's will be taking this information, of course, to know how long he has to stay out before he's allowed to pit.
Or are we going to see the mythical two-stop?
There's a possibility.
If you guys can do a two-stop, you'll have my undying respect. You know I love a two-stop, Mackie. You know I do.
Well, I mean, someone could make a two-stop. We look at stops already. Angelo and Marcel at the back have both stopped already, I believe, for damage-related issues, as it's looking like Tia's Korsman is going to go past... sorry, but that's behind. So Daniel is going to go past Tia's Korsman, I think. I've completely lost track of the F1 World Cars.
Well, yeah, the F1 cars are not easy to read. Oh, Tony looks to go on the inside, but slightly blocked off there by Tamas, who probably isn't in, well, I'd imagine he's in a little bit of a foul mood right now, considering the situation that he found himself in a couple of minutes ago. As he dropped down, he dropped down from the lead of the race, didn't he, Mackie, for something that he didn't do. So I think anyone would be in a foul mood after that.
Yeah, it's not exactly what you want to have as a driver, something a little bit out of your control, just affecting your race, but of course still having a good drive so far. Is currently up in 4th position, and we'll just have to wait and see if he's going to be able to get any higher once the pit stops come around.
Yeah, and I wonder if someone will consider a two-stop, because it does it's one of those things that maybe it's not the fastest thing on the track, but if you can make it work, then it really confuses the drivers that are around you, and also it can gain you a lot of time. But you've got to be fast enough to do it. And the issue, I suppose, with the two-stop around here is even if people are struggling on their tyres, which race is clearly struggling.
Well, that's a mistake from Tamaz as Tony Matala now has the DRS. Goes straight past and going into turn 3. He's going to have a good run potentially on race ahead as well. Not going to be close enough, but down the inside, that's contact. Tamaz there outbraking himself and making contact with race ahead and narrowly missing Tony. That felt like a huge mistake from Tamaz there.
It certainly was, and is that a case of once again just being in a little bit of a different mindset now due to that incident. And literally just missing out his braking zone. Maybe tyre wear really is affecting, because I was saying just before the corner, but as you were mentioning the battle with Tony, is race went wide, locked up, costing a lot of time, and you can see the damage that front wing is causing to Tamaz's race here, and you can see he's pulling over to the right hand side. He will be pulling into the pit lane for what will be a front wing change, and that will probably likely be a huge blunder for him. Someone else coming into pits is Daniel. Is that also another pit? Is that another front wing change, or is this a two-stop attempt from these guys here?
It could be. They could have heard your prayers
going on
for a two-stop.
So it's not a two-stop.
Okay.
It's just an early pit stop on hards.
Kuba now has a DRS, but so does the car in front. Keanu, of course, will drive it in 7th, going to turn 3. It's not quite going to work out there for either of them. Just going to sit in position, wait for the next opportunity to make a move. As we see it, Sixten Lindhart now is up into 2nd and could be challenging for the lead shortly.
Certainly is. Lindhart making up the time that he lost after getting hit in the rear earlier on. Does not want to have another race slip out of his hands like they have in the previous two. Going to challenge Richard Sprogas here, who is on track as it stands for 3 in a row here for Formula 3. As I mentioned at the start of this season, he's had so much trials and tribulations to go through, and he's really on top at the moment at the start of this year. Someone pulling over to the right side. Is that Race pulling into the pits? It certainly is, as he pulls right into the pits, and that will be a pit stop for Race, and the undercut is on as he's going to slow it down nicely. He's not going to, you do not want to be getting yourself a penalty, do you, Mackie, in the pit lane?
No, absolutely not. And so if we look at the tyre that everyone's on now, there are very few drivers actually left on the medium tyres. They're going to have to pit relatively soon, otherwise they are going to get undercut.
Just keeping an eye on Daniel here. He could pull a really good undercut here.
Yeah,
I don't think it's going to be a mental undercut.
He's moving up now. He's going to sit in 6th place. I think that's going to be very good undercut. That's about 3 places maybe. 4 places.
He's got DRS on Race. He's going to get a good run here to try and take P5 off of Race if he gets the 2nd dosage of DRS, which of course he will, and his tyres are nicely warmed up to Races. So here we go, the run down to what will be turn 4, and he's going to pull to the outside line, and if he can get his braking zone right, he will move himself up into P5, and the undercut has been very successful for Daniel, and he's up into P5 ahead of Race and ahead of a few other drivers that really struggled to warm up their tyres early on, and the undercut's been successful. So for Gabriel, Tony and Lindhart, get yourself in, boys. There is a very powerful undercut here this afternoon.
And of course that P5 that Daniel's just moved himself into is the net race lead. He's the first driver who has pit.
It certainly is, and it's actually going to be currently P3 as it stands because of the guys pitted behind him, sorry, in front of him. So Lindhart will not come out in front of Daniel here. I think Daniel will get him out of the pit lane. And it's going to be close, Mackie. It's going to be close, but I think the exit of turn 2 or turn 1, he will get the exit, and now it's a straight race down to turn 3 with a 3 wide moment as Race pulls alongside both of them and jumps in front of Lindhart as we break into turn 3, and Race has achieved what he wanted. He's up into P3, but now the 2nd dosage of DRS as we run down the 2nd main straight. Lindhart, is he going to go on the outside? Oh, on the inside goes Daniel, so we're going to be 3 wide into turn 4, and Lindhart may just take away that position. It's absolute carnage here, Mackie, as we're trying to pay attention to everything. Daniel now trying to do it. We're 4 wide through this segment of the race. What is going on circuit right now here in F3? But somehow Lindhart's come out in front in 3rd, Daniel in 4th, Tony in 5th, Race has found himself down in 7th. What has just happened in that middle sector?
that was some great racing there from all of those drivers involved. We had about 8, 9, maybe even 10 drivers there separated by just a couple of attempts all over the road, 4 wide at one point. Yeah, I think it has now calmed down as Kiani moves back up into 10th position as Gabriel enters the pit lane now and leaving only Rihard's to pit.
Well, we might be going on for round 2 here in a second as Daniel pulls to the inside. He's going to take second place away from Linhart. And is Tony going to get involved? No, not on this occasion, but the second dosage of DRS will be affecting the drivers that are leading, especially for Daniel, because he does not have any DRS protection, as it's going to be Linhart. Is he going to pull to the inside for turn 4? No, not on this occasion. Wants to keep everything a little more sensible, because I think everyone's now got a little bit more tyre warmth than they did on that previous lap. But Rihard, he's thoroughly enjoying this race right now. He's got nothing to worry about.
Absolutely. So, as we continue to watch this, Ben Marples now is going to fight Tony Hartala now for 4th position as they continue going through this Grand Prix. We're on lap 17 of 36. Only driver left to pit now is Richard Sprogis, of course, on the alternate strategy on older hard tyres. He appears to be maintaining a pretty strong gap now, 17.5 seconds. Ben Marples still chasing, going to turn 1 with that DRS, not going to be enough yet, still not close enough. I think everyone is just sort of going to sit in position, apart from Linhart, who going through the second DRS zone, is just going to take the net lead of the Grand Prix once again. But here down the inside comes Daniel, sorry, no, it's going to be Tony going down the inside. He moves into 3rd position. But he's still fighting with Daniel for that. This is giving Linhart an opportunity to create a little bit of a gap as the 3 of them now going into turn 4 are going to battle down the inside. It's going to be Ben Marples moving into 3rd place. Around the outside is Tony, and Daniel might just sit back here and wait for something to happen in front of him. Brilliant
from Marples. He took the initiative and took the advantage and moved himself up into 3rd place. He's now chasing down Linhart. For Richard Sprogis, 16.7 seconds. That gap has come down, Mackie, in the past couple of corners. He will think about pitting soon, but he knows he's got to go a little bit longer on those tyres because those mediums did not last very long on this circuit.
No, absolutely not. It's, you know, it could be interesting. I can't imagine he's going to want to pit anywhere before, let's say, lap 24 or Richard. So it's going to be interesting. He's lost about a second in the last lap, and here we go. It looks like we're going to have some more moves made, Alex.
He's got a lot of time to make up when we get into the previous lap, the later stage of this Grand Prix. Down the inside goes Race, and he's going to take Daniel here. Daniel, who obviously pitted a lot earlier than these guys did, but only by a lap. But it may affect tyre wear later on. But he got a good exit out of that corner, and is Race going to have a good run here down the inside of Daniel? No, not on this occasion. Waits his turn, waits his time, bides his time, as you might say, and still chasing down Daniel of what is going to be P5 as it stands. Richard Sprogis still yet to pit in this Grand Prix, and Mackey's coming in. He's coming into the pit lane for medium tyres.
I feel like this is potentially a little bit too early for the switch to the medium tyres. They're going to die out before the end of the race. We saw them all coming in on lap 12, lap 13, and he's now going to have to do 17 laps on one set of tyres, of the medium tyres specifically.
To the back of the grid.
Yeah, I mean, he is at this rate.
Everyone is in DRS. He's going to...
Yeah, I'm watching Linhart right now. He's gone straight past, and Richard's here. Might have misjudged his strategy by a lot.
He's got a lot of work to do, Mackie, as he always gets taken out there by Boomer, not by anyone's fault, just for the way the pit lane pulls out. But the race, I might say, is now on as we begin the charge for these places as Richard finds himself in 12th place. Everyone in a DRS train, he's on the medium tyres. Everyone around him is on older hard tyres. He has now got the work to do. He's given himself this task, and if there's anyone that can do it, it's our double race winner this season. He's going to have to do it the hard way, but as we've seen already this season, he doesn't mind doing that at all. So we'll keep an eye on that battle. We'll keep an eye on the battles even in the mid-pack. We've got Gabriel Quinton battling with Tamas, who's trying to make up the time he lost earlier on in this race, and it's not really worked out for Tamas today, who's now dropped down to 16th place. I think he's got a penalty as well, but Richard's already made up one position, Mackie. The Jargy is officially on.
Absolutely gets past Buber there. 11th position, is about to enter the points now. Of course, he's going to have a lot more pace as we go into this section of the race. It's going to be a 10-second penalty for Gabriel there. Very unfortunate. Could be ruining any chances of scoring points, especially at this stage. Yeah, and indeed the grip that Richard now has as he goes straight past Kuba there into 10th place. He's now in the points positions, but will his tyres hold out to the end? That is the real question, Alex.
It certainly will be an interesting debate to see how this will work out. But you got to think, oh, a very defensive move there from Thomas Lamberton. Considering they've got the same livery on, I'd imagine they're teammates here, Mackie. Obviously, it's not a team championship here at PSGL, but teammates still are important. Maybe Thomas just giving him a bit of a helping hand with a slipstream there. But anyway, it's working out so far, Mackie. Those 1 lap old medium tyres compared to the 6 lap old hards is working well, but I don't know how they're going to affect him later in the race. But clearly better than these hard tyres are right now. I think he may have made the right call here. He's still got to make the positions though. We talk about it. You know, you can catch. Catching is easy. Overtaking is hard.
Obviously, what you've got to worry about as well is how much of the tyres Rihard's investing into this. We see a few penalties coming out, and Keanu there almost looks to be maybe going for a move on Tia's Korsman going into turn 1. Didn't make it happen, was too far back, but of course for DRS now, could it be a move? I think we've got a move happening further up as well. Tony going on Lindhart, not quite. Of course, Ben Marples leads your race. Actually, when did they switch around? I think I completely missed it.
Yeah, they've been swapping around the last few laps. I think they realised the threat that's coming from behind them. They're just trying to give each other a little bit of a DRS boosting. As Rihard's made himself up into 8th place now. He's having to use a lot of ERS, but he's saving in the corners, which is very smart indeed from our 2-time race winner this year. As I said, doing it the hard way, but doing it an incredibly good way as well. Classic racing here at Austria. So he's got another, how many more laps he got to do on this lap? We're on lap 21 of 36. The hards are not going to be in a much better state though, Mackie, let's be honest.
No, they won't be. They'll both be very warm by the end of the race, but my biggest worry is that could be a race ruiner there for Daniel, unless of course he's got reason to get something removed. As round the outside goes, I think that was Rihard's there. Had the inside line going into turn 1. Managed to maintain the position. Now has a good run on Ryan Grob as well as we head towards turn 3. He's alongside as we go into corner. Yeah, there's no competition really. Rihard's has the inside, but in fact, Ryan's still going to fight it. But he's got to also worry about how much time he's losing to Tia's Korsman behind.
Let's be honest, Rihard is in his race here for Ryan. He needs to worry about his own positions now. The battle for the lead, though, intensifies as we go down into turn 4 here. And Rihard is enjoying every second of this because every time these guys battle it so hard, it is just an opening the door for Rihard. This race goes down the inside of Daniel. Daniel forced onto the outside line, but it's the better line for the next corner. Rihard's chomping at the bit to get involved. He knows Race is not going to make it easy for him, but it might not be his race. Look how easy that was. Rihard's into P5 now, ahead of Race, and he's still charging for this top 3 podium finish. Mackie, we're only on lap 22. He's made it look so simple.
He has indeed. So we're just going to have a quick look now at what's going to happen next. I think Tia's Korsman wants to get past Ryan Grob. Of course, we've seen these two fighting for the last couple of laps through various positions. And now for the lead of the Grand Prix, it's going to be Sixton, Lindhart, Tony falling behind. But of course, I think they're just slingshotting each other around on such a DRS-heavy circuit. Race now ahead of Ryan Grob. Grob ahead of Race. Makes contact. He's going to lose a few positions there as he slides out. Luckily, doesn't hit any walls. But Rihard's now can make another position. He goes for a dive down the inside. Up into 4th goes Rihard. But I have to wonder how much of this medium tyre is he using on these battles.
So he's taking so much out of the tyres, but he knows he's going to have to push as hard as he can if he wants to get this race win. He's got another 13 laps to do on these medium tyres.
Which is, in my opinion, I think the estimated life based on when everyone else pits. So, and they're already 4 laps old. It's going to be a really tight one.
Certainly
as to whether he's going to have any grip at the end. But we've also got to wonder, these hard tyre runners, they're going to be on 20+ lap old hard tyres by the end of the race. Are they going to be holding up any better?
I mean, it's going to be so interesting later on. Do not go anywhere, everyone. This race is far from over from anyone's perspective. But Rihard's absolutely flying at the moment on these medium tyres. We thought he would do on this set. This is exactly the strategy that Rihard's had planned out as we race up into turn 3 now. Down the main straight once again. DRS will be open. Will he make another move into turn 4? We've seen it once. We've seen it twice. Will we see it a 3rd time? Is he going to send it down the inside? Oh, he pulls to the right hand side. Thoughts about a dive bomb there, but I think he was a bit too far back on that occasion. Very respectful racing there not to go for the dive bomb. But he's got to think clever. Got to think smart here. He's on the best tyres, Mackie. As it stands, he knows that advantage will fall away from him. But he's, well, you know, Austria, 36 laps sounds like a lot, but around the circuit like this, it will fly by. He's got to make these moves quickly.
It will fly by, but if you're in the cockpit of a car, do you you have got to be wondering just how much tyre you want to use, how much you want to invest, how much you maybe want to save and try and get a jump at the end. I think that's what the hard tyre runners will be looking at as well, which is, of course, the entire grid bar rehards. So he's currently going to sit in 4th position. I think this is probably the first lap he's not been able to make a position up since he dropped back several positions after the pit stop. So maybe he's slowing down a bit. But as we see them go almost 3 wide into turn 3, that's going to be Ben Marples moving up into 2nd. But Tony Hitala's not going to let it go easily. Moves back up into 2nd place. Rehard's here. Can just wait this out. There's there's a chance they're going to make contact ahead. So do you just wait this out and save the tyres?
Yeah, I mean, it's a risky strategy. I mean, sometimes you've got to go for these moves. You can't always rely on someone in front of you to make a mistake. But if you can see, as a racing driver, if you can see 2 cars battling it properly, wheel to wheel, proper dangerous stuff, then sometimes that is the best option, to wait and see what happens. But again, if they're respectful races, like a lot of them are here in F3, then you won't expect a crash. But 10 laps to go when we cross the line here for lap 26. I wonder if Rehard is already struggling here, because Daniel has got onto the back of him once again. Maybe a little bit of a charge lap here from Rehard as he's waiting to pounce again. I do question how much those medium tyres are struggling here on lap 26. But as we race down up towards turn 3 once again, are we going to see an overtake for the lead of the race? We are, but it's going to be, Rehard has sent it from a long way back to make it 3 wide. And how has he made that move stick whatsoever? Chaos ensues once again here in Austria, all because of a dive bomb. I've seen this one before as we race down into turn 4, and Tony is in the lead, and Daniel finds himself in 3rd, and Rehard, even after the dive bomb, has found himself still in 4th.
Yeah, that was a very optimistic move from Rehard. He's moved back down to where he started the move. I think he would have been better off just going for 1 or 2 of them instead of trying to take all 3 at the same time. Yeah,
it's cost Linhart as well. Linhart's fallen that down to 5th. He was fighting further up the grid. As you said, Mackie, maybe, obviously, another ambition ahead of adhesion there for Rehard's progress, but he knows the time is running out. Rehard's will not take this race sitting down, but Linhart is not going to take this one sitting down either. He will not see another race result go down the toilet as we carry on this race. We're on lap 27 of 36. Daniel knows that he's losing positions due to that 3-second time penalty, losing a few because of how close everyone is on the grid. And not going for it on this occasion. Ben Marples re-finds himself in the lead of the Grand Prix. Ryan Grob taking positions as well for TS Gorsman. No one is out of this race in terms of positions right now. This race is gaining another position there on Thomas Laminen as Laminen tries to battle him back. For that is what, P10, P9 at the moment. But yeah, Laminen really struggling on those 16 lap old hard tyres. I'm not surprised at the moment. But we are on lap 27 of 36. The race is coming to its conclusion. Hopefully everyone has enjoyed their racing so far. Of course, we'll have interviews a bit later on. But right now, I don't know who we're going to be interviewing on the podium. It seems that any of the top 10 can still win this, especially if we have a massive accident. As Thomas Laminen makes a move. I thought he did, but Gabriel forced wide off the circuit there. And those two are really going for hammer and nail, as they say.
Of course, you mentioned earlier Thomas was struggling on 17 lap old hard tyres. These runners aren't going to be on these tyres. They'll reach the age of that tyre very soon. Of course, you've got Rehard as well. He's entering the range where those medium tyres are going to start to falter. So I don't think it's going to be long for we're going to see cars sliding all over the road.
Are we going to see a move here from Rehard Sprogis? Is he going to go for Daniel here? Or are we going to see a 3-wide moment once again for the lead of the race? As every time Rehard thinks he's got the 3rd place sorted, it turns into a 3-wide moment, and Marples takes the lead once again ahead of Tony. Daniel still hanging on to that 3rd place on track, maybe hoping he can get his penalty removed. But of course, it's much better to cross the line 3rd, even if you do drop down the places, because you never know what can happen in terms of battling for position. But we're on to lap 28. We're going on to lap 29. Rehard is slowly slipping his advantage down the grid as Linhart also properly challenging him from behind now. Those medium tyres must be on their grading phase, must be struggling. The hards are through their grading phase, but they will be struggling as well. Daniel, one of the earlier pit stoppers as well, on the 16 lap old hard tyres now, so he'll be properly struggling as he raced once again up towards turn 3. It's been action on every single lap here in this Grand Prix. Daniel does not care about playing DRS chicken. He will not play your games as he takes 2nd place ahead of Tony. Rehard's looking for what could be third place finally, but they're going to get that double slipstream effect from Ben Marples, who has not got DRS. Freehart's really struggling to keep up with that lot as he's trying to find a gap. Maybe he's found it now on Tony. No, he has not. He stays in 4th place once again. Is he seeing this race slipping out of his hands, Mackie?
It looks a lot for Rehards like he's just being dragged along by the DRS. He's not really got the competitive pace to continue fighting with these guys in front. He's struggling, in fact, to keep Linhart behind, and he's doing a very good job of it indeed, considering the state that his tyres must be in. Yeah, it really does feel like a case of just being dragged along by a DRS, making sure you keep a hold of it so that you can stay competitive and keep this 4th place.
Yeah, I mean, this alternate strategy has worked to a degree, but I wonder where he would have been if he had just gone with the regular strategy. But that doesn't matter right now. He's stuck with this one. He's got to try and make it work with 6 laps to go. Maybe he's just pacing himself towards the end of this Grand Prix. We know how powerful DRS is. Oh, I thought he was going to go for it. Linhart, I think he saw Linhart coming as Linhart properly sends it down the inside. Somehow slows it down, but Rehards gets the better exit. I was riding on board with Rehards. I wondered why he was a bit slower on that exit. Did he see Linhart coming back in?
Well, the stream saw Linhard's POV of that. It felt like just a very late braking zone. You saw the car sort of just slide, not quite where he was expected to go, but the only reason he managed to get around the corner, because compromised his exit, which gave Rehards the ability to stay up in 4th. But that also shows Rehards is very vulnerable on that set of tyres.
Yeah, he certainly is. Those mediums will not be enjoying the 11 laps they've been on his car for. Daniel's 17 lap older hard. 16 laps for Ben Marples, 15 laps for Tony. We're on to the final stretch of this Grand Prix. 6 laps to go. Now 5 laps to go as we cross the line. And it is a long way to go for these medium tyres. Kuba retires in the pit lane with a 10-second time penalty. Clearly not the race he would have wanted down the order as we continue to race here on lap 31. The leaders slightly pulling away from the rest of the pack from Rehards progress, who breaks a very nice braking point, and now surely he's got to think about getting Tony Hightower here, who's really struggling on these 17 lap old hard tyres. This is now or never for Rehards to jump himself up into that 3rd place. Is he going to force his way around the outside? He does not have the same grip that he had when he put these medium tyres on 12 laps ago.
No, he definitely doesn't. But of course, the hard runners, they appear to be starting to struggle for grip as well, so this could get very interesting. We see 6 laps left in this Grand Prix, about to be 5 laps left as we enter the final sector. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Of course, still many people in the chance to win. And right now, Rehards is effectively on the podium as Daniel is carrying that 3-second time penalty.
It certainly is. It could come down to time penalties. It could come down to, at this point in a Grand Prix, when you've been really struggling on your tyres, sometimes it just comes down to driver ability. And it certainly might come down to driver ability now. When you're struggling on your tyres, your driving style can make the difference. And is it going to make the difference here? We're on lap 32 of 36. Daniel will take the lead of the Grand Prix here on lap 32. And now down the inside goes Rehards. He makes the move stick, but Linhart was on the inside as well. It caused a 3-wide moment that sent all 3 drivers into a ghost mode as they all drive through each other to try and make positions up. And down the inside, is that going to be Tias who goes for it? He jumps in front of Linhart as well, who's lost a couple of places. Somehow Rehards still finds himself in 4th, but was that all set up by Linhart's dive bomb, Mackie?
I'm really not too sure. It looked like Rehards took advantage of the fact he was still ghosted going into the corner. In fact, it looks like we've got permanent ghosting now on a few of these drivers following that incident. But of course, that's not our biggest worry right now. Biggest worry now is who is actually going to win this Grand Prix. Is Daniel going to have enough pace to pull out 3 seconds to counteract that penalty? He's already pulled out about 7 tenths. Or is that just Ben Marple saving tyres, knowing he doesn't have to worry about it too much?
Surely it's going to be a saving tyres technique here for Daniel. I mean, Daniel knows that he's got that 3-second time penalty. It's going to cost him the race win. It may even cost him a podium. It may even cost him a points finish on this occasion. 3 yards Spogris. Is this game over for him in terms of battling for the lead of the race? He's guaranteed a podium due to that 3-second time penalty, but he'll want more than that. He wanted 3 wins back to back. It's still on the cards, but it's going to be so tricky from here on out. 3 laps to go, and it is all down to the skill of your driver now. The team have done everything they can possible. They put him on the alternate strategy. They gave him the chance on the medium tyres, and it has worked. As I said, to a degree, he's sitting in 4th, which is a podium as it stands, but it's not going to be good enough for the race win unless he can pull some magic out, which we've seen in the past from Rehards.
Yeah, of course, we absolutely have. I've had the pleasure of commentating on him in other series as well, and he's a very, very talented driver indeed, but I'm just really not sure if this alternate strategy is working out for him. He's losing time to Tony in front. It really feels like he's really just being dragged along by this DRS. I'm not sure. He's just going to have to really work on keeping Sixton behind him, I think.
3 to go. We're on lap 34 of 36. Rihard has got a great exit out of turn 1, using his ERS to boost down the main straight. You see Marples not trying to take the lead anymore. He knows he doesn't have to because of that 3-second penalty to Daniel. He's just sitting in that DRS, which is frustrating Rihard as well, because it means Rihard is not going to be able to make a move due to everyone having DRS and being stuck in a DRS train. So if Rihard wants this win, or he wants a further finish, he's going to have to go for a dive bomb, Mackie. I mean, you're a big Lando Norris fan. You saw what happens when you go for dive bombs around here.
I mean, are you trying to point blame on Lando there?
Of course not. I would never do that.
No, of course not, Alex. No.
I'm
totally
not a blame point.
But he could be making a move, but Ben Marple's got to be careful here on staying behind Daniel, because Tony will know he's doing that and potentially look for a way through.
Tony, I want to point out the top 3 sitting on 100% ERS, Mackie. They're all waiting for the final lap. It's going to be all very tasty on this final lap, Mackie.
This is about to get very interesting. 2 laps to go now in this Austrian Grand Prix here in PCF3 at PSGL. Ben Marple's now going into the track lead. He was already in the lead, but down the inside as well goes Tony. Tony's going to follow into second place, but Daniel's not going to let this one go, even though he's got a penalty. Of course, we don't know how many warnings he's on. He could have a chance to get something removed, so he's still got to play this carefully. But Tony now is going to go down the inside. No, he's not. He's had to back off. He's going to worry about Daniel, who's round his outside. And now they're going to continue to go around. Daniel's got a very good exit. He's going to remain in second on circuit. And Tony now's got to deal with third. And Rihard's here. He's gained a little bit of time, but he's got to worry about Lindhart still behind him.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have come down to the penultimate lap of the race, and we have one final lap coming up here for you, as it looks like Sixton Lindhart is not going to wait till the final lap. Oh, I thought he was going to go for it in the final sector. Here we go, lap 36 of 36 here at the Austrian Grand Prix. It's F3, it's round 3, and it's been a thrilling Grand Prix, and it's all going to come down to some last lap chaos here. Any one of these drivers could still win this race, but which is going to come away with it? So here we go, the run down to turn 3. This is the place you can set up your moves, and then you make them into the run down to turn 4. Are we going to see the braking points? Down the inside goes Daniel, even with his 3-second time on it, he's still going for it. So it's down the run, down to turn 4. Who's going to take the lead of this Grand Prix? Marples, is he going to go for it? Is he going to find the gap? He forces his way down the inside, and there goes Ben Marples. Is he going to make the move stick? He can't do it. Rihard's on the inside as well. Is he going to get past Ben Marples for P3? Daniel on the inside. Tony trying to force his way around the outside. Rihard has found himself in third, and he's jumped up, but Ben Marples has come back at him. Is he going to force him all the way out wide? He certainly is, but there's still gaps there. Oh, big almost incident in the back, but Rihard finds himself in third. But for Tony in the lead, there's such a battle going on in that mid-pack as we try and pay attention to everything. But Daniel will come across the line to win. Rihard has got a penalty, which will drop him down the order. Daniel wins on track, but Tony takes the win. Marples third, Keanu fourth. What has just happened on that final lap? Because Rihard's got himself a penalty with a corner to go, which dropped him from second to 10th.
Indeed, I don't even know what to make of what I just watched. That was an insane battle. Like we said, anyone in that top 10 had a chance of going for the win of the Grand Prix, and they all did try. Very, very close gaps indeed. But Tony Hietala, in the end, wins the Austrian Grand Prix, and that's going to be, I think, his first win of the season, as Rihard has won the other 2.
And Rihard's had a second to bottom. Wow, I mean, madness personified there. Ben Marples picks up driver of the day. I mean, well, God, I need to lie down after that final lap. It was madness. So yeah, we'll go through the grid now. So for Tony, from 6th to 1st, 6th place seems to be quite a lucky grid position right now. So Tony wins from Marples, who went from 12th to 2nd. What a race from Ben Marples. Keanu in 3rd, then Race finishes in 4th, Tias in 5th, Sixton in 6th, and then we got Ryan Daniel, Mile, Zach, Rihard, your top 10, and then Lamanen, Marcel, Tamas, Gabriel, Lara, Lolo, Angelo, Boba, Kuba, and Thomas Baldwin rounds out your top 20. We'll see if we can grab the top 3 in for an interview if they want interviews. So Tony, Dala, Ben, Keanu.
And just so you know, the face cams are back on.
Cool.
So. Yeah, what a race though, Alex, that was. Especially at the end. I mean, we had phases where they were all just allowing the DRS train to happen. And then at the end there, they all just let it go. They all just went for the moves. You saw someone down in 9th trying to go for the lead of the Grand Prix as well. And
yeah.
I think Tony there, excellent result. I'm not sure where that puts him in the championship. I'm just gonna have a see if I can get a quick look.
We've got people waiting in the waiting room for interviews.
Wow.
So I will grab. So it was Tony, Marples, and then Keanu. So we'll grab Marples first because Marples was sitting in there.
Oh.
Ben. In second place, my friend. I mean, talk about a final lap of the Grand Prix. We'll go through that in a more extensive set in a minute. But yeah, talk us through that race, Ben. 12th to 2nd. You had quite the battle up front, and that final lap was madness. Was madness indeed. Talk us through the whole experience of the race.
Well, the qualifying was ideal to start off with.
Yes.
And the race, everything just sort of fell into my hands from the start. Turn 3, I was just making nice moves, and then when I think around lap 10, I was like, I can actually win this race. I feel like I've got a lot of pace here. So then we decided to box with the leaders in lap 13, and then we just had to overtake a few slow hard runners. And then after that, it was sort of manage the pace. I knew Rihards was going to box on the mediums, so we're looking out for him. But then he made a stupid move into turn 3, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to chill out now because I know he's going to get a penalty for that. So I didn't really want to mess around. And then the last lap, well, yeah, turn 3, Daniel went for the move, and then I got hit. I lost the rear bit. I had no battery because I used it all down that main straight. And then I got overtaken by Tony, and then I had a battle with Rihards in sector 2. And then I had a rear snap. I got overtaken by another 2 cars. At that point, I was fuming. But
Yeah.
then they made a mistake in the last corner, and I just overtook them both and finished P2.
Yeah, I mean, it looked madness. Yeah, there was certain. Obviously, you know, we never want to see silly moves from drivers. Obviously, sometimes the environment and the occasion gets to everyone. But I think overall we had a pretty clean race for it. But obviously that's why stewards exist, so they can deal with all the stuff after the races. But did you enjoy yourself in that race? It looked fun from where we were watching.
Yeah, obviously, I was thinking about the championship as well because
Yes.
I'm P2 and Rihards is my rival. So I just at the end of this, I just wanted to finish ahead of him, and I did by quite a lot.
Yeah.
And I was the qualifying didn't help. I qualified P12, and I was like, yeah, okay, this is over. But then we came P2, scored a lot of points, and I think we've got the lead of the championship now.
I think Mackie was just having a look at that in a second. He'll tell us in a minute. But I can tell you, Marvels, to be honest with you, you say qualifying in 12 isn't bad, is bad, but overall this season, people that have qualified outside of the top 3 have won races.
Exactly. I mean,
So-
Miami, I qualified P10 in Miami. Obviously, got pole in Britain. But yeah, my qualifying is always a weakness. You're going to see that throughout this season. But hey, the race is where the points are, and we did it well.
Well, it certainly was. So, Ben, I'm going to have to let you go now because Tony's getting restless.
No,
chat. So, so it's all good. But yeah, congratulations on the win. If you're leading the championship now, cracking thing, Mackie.
I have that information. You'll be 2 points behind, assuming
Not bad.
no
Well,
penalties
obviously,
or anything.
Rial's
comes
dropped
to play.
down with that 3-second time penalty, and if he gets a penalty again by the stewards, he will drop out of the points. So, could be going on to maybe equal points going into the next round, which would be cracking. But
Thanks, guys.
hope you guys, thank you for joining us. Appreciate that,
Thank you.
Marvels, and I'm sure we'll speak to you next
Bye.
week as well, mate. See you in a bit.
Hopefully.
So we're going to jump in now. Your race winner for F3 round 3 in Austria, Tony Hightaler, as hopefully I'm saying that name correctly. So congratulations on the win, sir. But yeah, I mean, we were just talking to Ben about that race. That final lap was mental. I'm sure you'll talk us through it in a minute. But talk us through the overall race. Obviously, starting with qualifying and then getting into the race. How do you think it went from your perspective?
Well, qualifying was, I woke up like 3 minutes before we readied up to start qualifying, so that was not ideal, and I was only able to set a banker laps, and I bottled 3 laps. P6 I was kind of lucky to get because the lap times weren't so good in my opinion, and I mean the race I picked up 2 track limit warnings. Then on like lap 15 maybe I had to be a bit careful, like 20 laps, and then well, I mean I just think I made the overtakes work. That was my best race yet in my life. I'm actually speechless right now. My first win in a while in like a competitive league. I'm just so happy right now.
Well, that's what we want to hear. We want to hear that. That's the whole point of us racing, is to be happy about you guys racing. So it's awesome to hear. Yeah, that last lap was insane though, Tony. I mean, you know, you're looking at it. You know, you've obviously got Daniel in front of you who's got a 3-second time penalty. You've got cars behind you that don't have penalties and will want to go for the win. You've got Rehards, who is on those medium tyres, was looking like an absolute monster in that race. I mean, what's the emotions going through it on that last lap? Because you know you do not want to be leading on that last lap because you're going to have troubles with DRS behind you.
Yeah, but for final lap my heart was beating like crazy. Like I had no idea that I was gonna win the race, if I'm gonna get taken out, if I'm gonna win, if I'm gonna be P2, whatever. I just had no idea. I think just final lap I was just made the overtake work with just little space, and yeah, I was just so like nervous on the final lap, but I just still made it work. So I'm really happy about that.
Well, congratulations to win. You snap Rehards' 2 in a row record. You pick up your first win of the season. Just want to point out, Tony, you say that qualifying wasn't bad, but I was just saying to Marples, every race so far this season, the winner has come from P5, P6, and P6 again in qualifying. So
Crazy.
no one that's put it on pole position has actually gone on to win the race yet. And I think actually everyone that's been on pole has fallen down the order. So maybe keep qualifying 6th, mate. There seems to be a lucky there. But yeah, congratulations on the win. Where are we next week? I don't even know. Next week, it is.
We are.
That was the wrong button. I clicked the E-Series calendar.
It's break week next week.
Oh, it's break week next week. Well, then we come back for Spain. Are you a fan of Spain? Before we end this interview, Tony, you think you're going to be good around there?
Yeah, yeah, the track is decent and I like it a bit, but I don't know if I'm going to be racing since I'm a reserve, and yeah, don't know if I'm going to be racing that.
I'm sure you will be. I'm sure there'll be space, Tony. There always is. You know,
Thank you.
someone always drops out. You know, there's like a birthday, or you know, they've gone out
Hopefully.
drinking the night before. You never know what's going to happen, Tony. It's be fine.
Yeah, hopefully.
But thank you for joining us for interview. Congratulations once again, Tony Hightower, you're winner of round 3 here in Austria.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much, Tony. Lovely people, aren't they, Mackie?
Very much so.
But that comes to an end of another fantastic Grand Prix. I mean, that is 3 banging races in a row. I think TK is going to be upset he missed that one. He'll have to look back at it later. But I want to say thank you to Mackie, first of all, for jumping in. Well, not last minute. He knew about a week ahead, but also last minute for setting up the stream. So I appreciate that, Mackie, for doing that. Did you have fun here at F3 today?
I did. Very, very good racing. I mean, I couldn't tell you who was going to win until literally it happened. So that's always for me when a good race happens, is when you don't know who's going to win and they are racing as if their life depends on it.
Exactly. That is what we want to see. And also, it was amazing to listen just actually the emotion that Tony was like. He was just genuinely so happy that he won a race. That's amazing to hear. That's what we want to hear from these drivers. But if you want more PSGL action, come join the Discord. The Discord is in the description. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, do all of this good stuff. Come get involved in the PSGL community. We have a break week next week, but then we are back the week later for Spain F3. TK will be back on that week. I'm sure Mackie will be filling in a stream somewhere because someone always drops out at some point. So Mackie, I'm sure, will be back as well.
We'll see.
But until then, please go and look at F2, which is going on right now. F4 is also going on, so please check out both of those. Give them support as well. But until then, everyone, it's goodbye from me. It's goodbye from Mackie. And we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Well, later.